Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently, let's see what time it is. It is 11:44 p.m. and I just got up from a little nap. I take very late naps. We keep meeting like this over Diet Pepsis. What is going on? Now everybody on my channel is going to start drinking Diet Pepsi when they watch my videos. Listen, Linda, okay? When these 12 Diet Pepsis are gone, I will be drinking Diet Coke again. And for the person that keeps on telling me that I'm going to die from drinking Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke, I am fully aware. Okay, I'm fully aware. I already know that diet soda is like the worst in the entire world to drink. I know that, okay? I would try to drink that stevia stuff, but it tastes like absolute shit, so that's not going to happen. Okay, so I have gotten a lot of requests to respond to this Jojo Siwa interview that was done on the Howie Mandel, the Howie Mandel podcast. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about that in just a second, but to kind of just close out this whole week-long deal of what I've been talking about over here, I will make this very, very quick. So if you watched my video from yesterday, I talked about the person I've been talking about for the last couple days, who I haven't said their channel name over here yet, and I'm not going to. I finally decided, after what I said in my video yesterday, to go over and leave a comment on their newest video, and the comment that I left says, and I'm just sharing this so that you guys know that this whole situation is kind of closed up as far as I'm concerned, and I feel like as far as he is concerned as well. If you haven't watched my most recent video, I have stated that if you stop talking about me, I will stop talking about you. I'm not even asking you to remove your videos at this time. It is not my goal to take down your channel. It never was. I'm asking, as I did on my video yesterday, that no one say nasty things to him in my defense. I am not about that. I am hoping he and I can find a place where we can both let this go and move on. And I also commented below here and I said, because a lot of people have responded to me and told me that they were like reporting his channel and stuff, and I said, I am also asking that no one reports his videos. Thank you. Okay? And he responded to this and he said, and well, somebody said, and this is what classy is, love you, Peter. Thank you, I appreciate that. And he responded to it and said, yes, I just finished watching your video and I'm glad we can leave this and be on good terms. Thank you. And so I feel like the whole thing is closed down, right? And I know that a lot of people are like, I got so many comments on my video yesterday saying that I should have just followed through and I should have just filed a strike and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I couldn't do it. It just didn't feel right in my heart at that time. But I do want to say this, because since I have made this video talking about him, the threats have just come out more and more and more. So what I have realized is that it is people that really dislike me that are just kind of waiting out there to come out and attack. And I just want to say that from now on going forward, I'm not going to be making videos. If somebody comes out and spreads misinformation about me or says things that are harassing in a video, okay, I'm not talking about sharing an opinion. You can even get in a video and say this and say that about me, okay? But when you're putting very serious misinformation out about me, from now on, I'm not going to talk about it in a video. I won't even mention it. I probably will just file a report. I'm just going to tell you that, okay, on YouTube. I'm just going to go through that. And to the person on his channel that commented that has made horrendous videos about me for years and years and I have let it fly, you might want to be very careful, okay? I'm just going to say this to you directly, because you think I'm the biggest joke in the entire world. That's fine. You can think I'm a big joke, right? But you follow everything I do very closely. You make videos literally about very specific moments of my vlogs and trips and places that I go, okay? And if you didn't live halfway across the world, you would be somebody that would be very scary to me. You have said horrendous things about me in videos. You have spread misinformation about me. And if I wanted to strike your channel down on 20 videos, I probably could, okay? But I think you're so ridiculous that you are over there talking to 100 people that I haven't done that yet. But I just want to tell you, you might want to be careful. Because I'm kind of at the point where I'm done fucking around with it, if you want to be honest, you know? Somebody came at me on his video and they said, and then they came over to my channel, right? And they said, that they were going to make a much worse video about me than Paige Christie did, and that it was going to go so much deeper based on this website that is like, I am currently having investigators and my attorneys look into behind the scenes, okay? Because they have spread the most misinformation about me. Really damaging information about me, okay? That could literally ruin my life. They spread the most. And she's threatening to make a video based on things that she has found on that website. I'm just going to tell you, you might want to be careful when you do that, okay? And so she said that on her video. First of all, Paige Christie and I are fine today, okay? Paige Christie and I have no issues with each other. And we had a very nice conversation, I don't know, 2 months ago. And Paige said, if you want me to take down the video, I'll take down the video. I said, Paige, that's on you. I don't really care. And she said, no, I think that that would be the right thing to do. And she took down the video. Paige and I have no issues with each other anymore. And I think that's kind of what was happening today, was that I was like, I would rather be able to work through something with somebody than have it turn into this thing, you know, like the same person said something to the effect of that, I don't get along with any of the drama commentary channels and I have issues with all of them. That's just not true. It really isn't. And the reality is, there was a period of time on YouTube when many drama commentary channels didn't get along. I worked very, very hard to get along with a lot of drama commentary channels. And I don't know that I would consider them best friends, but I consider myself friendly and civil to most of them today. I don't really have beef with any of them, and I don't think any of them have beef with me. So that's just absolutely 100% inaccurate. That's not something that I would obviously strike a video about. I'm talking about people saying things about my accident, people saying things about my sobriety, people saying things about my marriage, things like, I mean, these are really damaging things that people are saying. I just want to make that very, very clear, okay? It's not like I'm just saying out there that somebody can say, well, Peter's a piece of shit, I'm going to file a report. That's not it, okay? I'm talking about things that are very serious issues, okay? I haven't taken issue in 7 years of being on YouTube. I've never filed a strike on YouTube, okay? I wouldn't start now just over frivolous things, trust me. I'm talking about very serious, damaging information that would be put out there, okay? Like, that's what I'm talking about, right? But then this person commented on my video, and they said all this kind of stuff, and then they said, the next thing they said was, if you delete this video because you just, I can't even remember how they responded to it. They said, if you just want to, something, what did they, hold on a second. They said, hold on a second. He can block me and stay in his yes bubble if he likes, but that's not very remaining teachable, is it? And basically that's a threat saying that if I block them, then I'm not being open to listening to criticism on my channel. Well, what they didn't know was that I had already seen their comment on my other channel where they were threatening to expose me with a video based on a website that is full of lies and that I am investigating behind the scenes, okay? And that is true. That is absolutely true. I have attorneys looking at that website as we speak, okay? I'm not fucking around with this stuff. Like, this is very, very serious, okay? This goes way past, you know, somebody said, you know, Peter, you're making 2 videos a day on this channel. Like, why don't you get a life? Well, you wouldn't tell somebody that goes to work for 8 hours a day and comes home and does something that they love to get a life, would you? This is my job, and this is what I love. I feel very blessed that I have this, okay? This piece that goes along with it, I don't love. And this is what's starting to happen is the haters are coming over to my channel and they're making these horrendously nasty comments to me. And then they're saying, and you'll probably block me and then that'll prove that you can't handle criticism, right? Like, that's an indirect threat saying that if you block me, you can't handle criticism, because I say that criticism can stay on my channel. But I already saw on the other channel that you had been horrendous to me and left numerous comments that were really horrible about me, okay? So just so you know, I've already found your channel. I've already found your Twitter from your channel. I blocked you. I have all of your personal information already, okay? And I'm not going around this about this, but listen, this is the stuff that I have to do, okay? And I don't care that you live in another country. I don't care that you live across the country from me, okay? I'm just telling you right now, like, I'm careful about this stuff. So, you know, it is what it is, and you wanted to come out here and say this, and this is what I responded. I responded to them, and I said, so if I block you, I'm staying in a yes bubble, even though you referenced on another video you're going to make a video exposing me based on a website filled with lies? How is that not a threat? I'm not allowed to block people who threaten me. You threatened me. That's what you did, okay? Those same people are the ones who can come after me relentlessly, but I can't stand up for myself. When have I said in a video that if somebody doesn't do this, I will expose them? I don't know that I've ever said that in a video, okay? So, like, this whole mentality of Peter can do this, but we can't do this, whatever. I literally just share the facts of what I see out there that people put out there based on receipts, okay? So, like, this is a lot for me, you guys. And people are like, well, this is really taking a mental strain. We can really tell. Fuck yeah, it is, okay? Fuck yeah, it is. I'm trying to make videos and get back to doing what I'm doing. And I have people like this that are harassing me, you know, and then they want to come out and they want to defend themselves and all this kind of stuff. So what I said at the beginning, I said, dear, you have greatly harassed me on other channels, pointing out that you'll make a much worse video than Paige. She and I are good today, and she took down the video. Just FYI, I don't care if you live across the world. I already blocked you on Twitter, and you'll be blocked here shortly too. I just wanted you to know I know who you are before you continue to harass me. P.S. You avoided my question as well, because she said I avoided her question. So anyway, hold on a second. Hide user from this channel. You are blocked. So she's gone from my channel, and you know, I have all your information. So I just want to make that clear, okay, before you choose to go forward with this harassing expose video, okay? Just making that very, very clear. Okay, and I'm done talking about this shit. Like, this is, people are like, oh, it's really taking a toll on you. Hell yes, it's taking a toll on me. These are the kind of threats that I got behind the scenes for years that people would say to me. The exact same way that she spoke to me was exactly this, and I was like, and this was my fear, right? My fear was, oh my God, somebody's gonna make a video about me with all of this shit, all of these lies from this video over here, or this website over here, that these people have literally been harassing me for years. It's like the same 5 or 6 people that have fake accounts and different names, and they just continue to say things over here. The misinformation over there about the accident alone is like unbelievable, okay? They constantly are talking about my sobriety and that I'm not sober. They're constantly talking about my marriage. Okay, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like Alex like looks at his girlfriend Sarah, his best friend since high school, and they're like, oh, Alex is cheating on Peter with Sarah. Like, seriously, you guys? Like, this is not small bullshit. It's laughable, right? But the extent that they have gone to like, they have doxed, this is the same website. So when you want to make this video based on that website, let me tell you, this is the same website, okay, that doxed my friend's work. This is why she will not be on videos anymore. That doxed her tax records. That doxed the place that I was staying at, okay, in Florida. This is the same place that has doxed my address. This is the same place that has doxed my work employment records. This is the same place that has doxed my doctors. So when you want to use that website, okay, as a source material for making a video to expose me, trust me, okay, I will come for you with everything that I have. And I know exactly who you are, and I know exactly where you live, and I have all of your information because you shared your Twitter on your YouTube channel. So trust me, I know exactly who you are. And this is not a threat. This is self-preservation. And anybody that thinks that that is okay is disgusting. Because these are the kind of threats that I dealt with for years, and I was terrified that if I came out and I spoke about it, a video was going to come up full of these lies, and then I was going to have to sit there and deal with it. Because how do you defend a lie? You don't, right? You can't. You can't possibly defend a lie. Well, I'm done with that, all right? I'll come speak out my truth. Trust me. I'll come out and speak the truth. So you're going to use a website to source information to make a video about me, which, by the way, I never made a video about this person who you were talking about or who you commented on. I never made a video about him to ruin him, okay? I gave him 4 chances to rectify the situation, and even then, after he came out with another video, I commented to him and I said, I just want to let this go. Let's just move apart, right? You directly threatened me. He made a video about me and I just responded to it. He made a video shit-talking me and I just responded to it. He made a video about me saying really horrible things and I just responded to it. You literally came out of the blue and harassed me and threatened me and said that you were going to make a video. This happens to me every day, you guys. I get emails from people every day, okay? From non-disclosed accounts that will say, if you don't do this, if you don't do that. Like literally like years ago when I was smoking a cigarette on a beach in Florida, somebody said to me that they were going to contact Dustin Daly, who already knew I smoked cigarettes from time to time. Nick Snyder, Paige Christie, always named them and said that they had pictures of me smoking cigarettes in Florida, okay? Because my husband did a Instagram story or reel where he was like moving backwards and you could see me in there. I smoke a good cigarette on occasion, okay? Sometimes more than others. They threatened me with that and they said, if you don't come out and share this information, I went off on Twitter, okay? This is the kind of bullshit I deal with on a daily basis. So, do I feel a little unhinged at the moment? Yeah, I probably am, okay? Because it's like this. It's constant. It's not going to stop me from making YouTube, but it's also not going to stop me from talking or dealing with this behind the scenes, and I am going to deal with it, okay? And let me just tell you that this is the deal, right? Is that I am a really forgiving person. Go watch all of my other channels. I am a really forgiving person. You know, I try to live by my words. I try to put my walk into my talk, which is why today I was like, let's just let this go and let's just move on. Okay? But do not be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like to this person out there that is making horrendous videos about me, and you even have to make a nickname for me because you can't even come out in a video and say my name fully because you have to have a nickname because you are so afraid because you say such horrendous bullshit about me. You have a nickname for me, okay? Because you're afraid that I'm going to come over and then you can say, well, I wasn't talking about him. Girl, you say my last name, you might as well say my first name, okay? If I wanted to strike your channel today and have it taken down, I absolutely could, okay? That's not my plan today. But do not be the straw that broke the camel's back because one of these days, I'm going to be like, fuck it. I'm striking all these channels, you know? I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm done with the harassment, you know? And people out there that are like, wow, Peter's like really going through it right now. Fuck yeah, I've been going through it for a long time. A really long time. But let's talk about, and I know everybody over here is like, what, that's here for the Jojo Siwa thing. It's like, what is this about? I just wanted to give you an update that he and I have worked things out and we are fine, okay? But don't fuck with me. Okay? I'm tired of it. And no, this is not just some catchphrase in a video. Fuck around and find out. I'm telling you right now, this is like goes so far into my personal life. You know, I can remember, like, just to throw this out there, this is something that people talk a lot about in recovery. I can remember, you know, that I was at this point that I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to quit using either, right? Like, I was so terrified that I was going to die, either by my own hand or whatever, but I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to quit using either. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, I don't want to quit YouTube, but I don't want to deal with this bullshit either. And, like, I almost didn't talk about it in this video because I'm like, talking about it brings more attention to it. This is how it's, like, driven me crazy for years, right? To talk about it brings more attention to it. If you bring more attention to it, then more people will come for you. More people will come for you, it makes it worse, right? I'm just going to have to finally, I don't know, maybe me talking about it will get to the point where I just am like, fuck it. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm just going to take action. That's what I plan to do going forward. Okay? But just so you know, there are ugly, horrible lies out there about me that I have to deal with on a daily basis being threatened with, okay? Horrific lies. And I've shared all this stuff before, okay? So just so you know, like, that's what I deal with on a daily basis. But anyway, oh my God, I said I was not going to talk about this tonight. Here we are, what, 17, almost 18 minutes in. Here I've gone on and on about this. So let's talk about this Colleen Ballinger. Anyway, somebody please timestamp this and say Peter talks about this at 18 minutes. And I mean that tonight because I know that there are people out there that don't want to hear that whole part, okay? And listen, I promise you, in my next video, I'm getting back to the drama and I'm not talking about this anymore. I've said what I've said. I've said what I've needed to say, and it's time for me to move on. That is how I will be healthy and take care of myself. But I appreciate all those of you out there that have been supportive and listened to it. All right, let's go on to the Colleen Ballinger thing. Maybe it's late at night. I don't know. You know, I do want to share this piece real quick because I was talking to my therapist about this on Monday when we went to marriage counseling. You know, one of the things, and this really relates to early sobriety, and this is me just sharing my mental health journey and for other people out there. No, I'm not using this as an excuse at all, okay? I'm just trying to explain it a little bit. But I've been, like, super emotional the last couple weeks since I've really hardcore started working on working through my OCD rituals. And I've been really emotional, like, in a sad way, but really also really emotional in, like, a really, like, happy, joyous way. Like, I can watch a movie and it can make me cry, and I can listen to a happy song and it can make me cry, or I can listen to a sad song. I mean, it's like, I'm real emotional, right? And I was telling him, I said, this so reminds me of being in early sobriety. Like, when I just, like, removed all substances, I just felt raw and numb. And I said, is this normal? And he's like, and I'm like, this is normal? He goes, yep, this is normal. You're working through your defenses right now. It's absolutely normal. You're taking down your defenses. It's very normal to feel raw and vulnerable going through all this. So maybe that's a little bit of what's going on. But at the same time, it's also, I think, me finding my legs, standing up for myself. You know, and there will become a point where I'm not fighting so hard. I just am there. But for those of you out there that have tolerated and watched my videos with me talking about all this, I appreciate it. Okay, I just want to say that, and I'm thankful that I haven't driven the entire audience away at this point. But no, I am going to deal with this behind the scenes. Well, I am dealing with it behind the scenes, but going forward, not even about that with the people that I'm working with. I'm just talking about myself. Okay, you're going to put horrendous shit out there about me. I'm dealing with it, and I won't even talk about it in a video, and I won't warn you anymore. This guy was the last one that got any kind of fair chance to deal with it, okay? And I was more than fair to him. And I think that I don't think that necessarily shows that I'm a classy person. I think that just shows how I try to, like, fix situations in my life, because I don't want to have people that I don't get along with. So let's talk about this whole situation. And listen, okay, if you are somebody out there that does not like me, but you want to work something out with me, feel free to email me and say, hey, Peter, I've had an issue with you for the last couple years about this, this, and this. You know, is there a way that, like, maybe, like, no, I don't want your phone number. I'm not calling you, okay? But if you want to share that with me in an email and you want me to respond to it and you want to work things out, I'm more than willing to do that, okay? If any of these influencers reached out to me and said that, I would have no problem having a conversation with them about that at all. Well, probably at this point, because Christy fucked that. But no, even at this point, like I say that in videos, like, don't reach out to me. But if somebody reached out to me and said, like, Peter, like, I have an issue with you, I would talk to them. I would absolutely, anybody in my personal or professional life, give them an opportunity, you know? Who I am on camera, who I display myself to be, I know there's a lot of people out there that think it's performative and it's bullshit, but it really isn't, you know? I mean, when people meet me in person or friends of mine, they're like, you're exactly on camera like you are in person. I'm no different, you guys, okay? This is why I really wanted to fix this situation with that guy. I don't want to have people that I don't want to have to go to bed at night worried about where it's coming from next, you know? I don't want to have to deal with shit like that, and I just want to make videos and enjoy myself. And I know that my opinion's going to piss people off from time to time, and that's okay. That goes along with it, right? Are the people on The View and E! News getting death threats? I don't think they are. Maybe they are and I'm not aware of it, but you don't hear them talk about it. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to shut my mouth and just take action and stop talking about it. I think that's smart. Thank you, Peter. I worked that out in this video. Y'all help me work this out, my lord. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about where am I at now, 22 minutes. Okay, somebody timestamp this and say, Peter doesn't talk about the real issue till 22 minutes in case nobody wants to hear all that. But thank you for those that did. I appreciate it. I just felt like I needed to say it. So anyway, okay, people are asking me to respond to this Jojo Siwa interview that she did on the Howie Mandel podcast. Now, the part where he asked her about Colleen Ballinger is literally maybe like 3-4 minutes. I watched the entire podcast. I watched the entire boring-ass podcast. Now, you know, here's my thing. Just so for all of you that know. My friend Melissa and I literally have watched every episode. What was that show back in the day that we used to watch? It was the other dance one. Why can't I think of her name where they said DD4L? DD, we love it. We watch all the dance shows, okay? And Melissa and I watched Dance Moms for years, before we became friends and after. And I watched every episode of Dance Moms, okay? I saw Jojo Siwa come on. I saw her go after. I always thought that Abby Lee and the other girls were mean to her and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay. Then she started on YouTube. I really never, to be honest with you, until just recently, knew that she had done videos in the past with Colleen Ballinger. I didn't follow Colleen that closely. I didn't know that she had done, point your toes, Nia! Little Dance Moms reference. I didn't know that she had done all these videos with all these adults, okay? So anyway, I watched this whole podcast, and as I'm sitting there watching this, and I have to just tell you for a while now, with her friendship with James Charles, with her friendship with Colleen Ballinger, and their allegations, and her not speaking out against it, and continuing to endorse, I mean, she just literally endorsed his launch, or his painted launch, and all these kinds of things, and I'm just kind of like side-eyeing her. I'm like, people are really looking at you, and I'm just, listen, I'm going to share my honest opinion tonight. Y'all can say that you think it's bullshit or not, but I'm just going to share where I'm at with it, okay? And all these people, and I've even said it, like, Jojo Siwa is like a representative of the LGBT community, and a lot of people are looking at her, and she's this young person that just came out, and all this kind of stuff, and, yada, 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 and, people want that on a t-shirt. They're like, oh, write that down, merch, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, that's something my mom used to always say. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Anyway, you know, and all these people are saying that she's a good representative of the LGBTQIA plus community. Why? Because she came out? I mean, I even said that, right? Like, people, I don't know if I said she was a good representation. I think I probably did say that, right? Because I felt like her background kind of gave her the platform to be a good representative, because she was, like, really non-problematic, and she had come from Dance Moms and made $80 million off those bows. Now, let's just think about that for a second, okay? You're 20 years old and you've made $80 million. She says that on the podcast, off of bows. Her brand did. She refers to herself as a brand. I mean, I know she's a brand because you can get her in Walmart, Meijer, Target, everywhere else. I think Dollar Store has her bows. I understand that you're a brand, but at 20 years old to refer to yourself as a brand, okay, it's kind of so weird to me. Like, I don't know, you know, and she's like, I mean, I was always, like, really upset because I never went to football games in high school, but then I got to go to the Super Bowl. Girl, you're literally a child star, okay? And we already know how that turns out in 20 years, all right? So I'm just going to tell you, you might want to read the stories, okay, about all the people that were on that TV show, Different Strokes and all that kind of stuff, okay? It doesn't turn out pretty. I'm just telling you right now, okay? Now, facts of life, those girls did okay. You take the good, you take the bad, you take it all in there. But they had Mrs. Garrett, you know? Like, fucking A, they had Mrs. Garrett. You can't go wrong with Mrs. Garrett, okay? But anyway, so, well, I guess that Blair kind of turned into, like, a real religious nut job, didn't she? There, I said it. Come for me. You're coming for Blair's religion! Yeah, I am. I was a Joe fan the whole time, okay? So, anyway, well, actually, I was a Tootie and Natalie fan. I did. I love them so much. What was her name? Something, Natalie? Was that, no, that wasn't her real, that was her real name. Something, Cone? What was her name on the show? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Tootie, later, Kim Fields, she ended up being on The Real Housewives of Atlanta for one season. She couldn't handle it. She really couldn't handle it. She thought she was too classy and too bougie for them. I mean, they let her have it. Kenya Moore let her have it on that show. I kind of felt bad for her a little bit, too, you know? Because I did love Tootie and the roller skates. What am I going on about? But anyway, JoJo, you might want to look into, like, how child stars turn out, because it's not pretty, right? Okay, so anyway, no, that's not a threat. I'm just giving you some information. I feel like I have to clear that up now, like what are threats and what aren't threats. God. What is this fucking channel turned into? Anyway, so I'm watching this podcast like this. So bored, right? It was so boring. It was the most boring podcast in the entire world. Howie Mandel has all these problematic people on there, but then he, like, asks some questions about the problematic situation for literally, like, 2 minutes. Like, you have Jojo Siwa, who is Colleen Ballinger's biggest supporter, and her sister, Rachel Ballinger, she even says on the podcast that she just went to Australia with her for 2 weeks. She's her best friend. And she comes out and slams the victims of Colleen Ballinger and basically accuses them of lying, and you don't ask her any more questions about that. She comes out and says that she was friends with Colleen Ballinger at 12 years old. And you don't question that. When you're sitting there saying things about your own daughter and her wanting to be, like, in the entertainment field, and you question that, but you don't think there's anything weird. Now, I did the math, okay? Jojo Siwa, the time that she was 12 years old, Colleen Ballinger was 28 years old. Jojo Siwa says, and we became friends. She says that in the podcast, okay? Can y'all just think back about when you were 28 years old? Now, when I was 28 years old, I was in my second relationship. I think we had just gotten back from going to St. Lucia on our trip. I was at that time, I was working in a treatment facility. I was at that time, let's see, 28. I was 5.5 years sober. I was going out to dinner with other couples. We were going to the casino on the weekends. I wasn't hanging out with no 12-year-olds. I'm sorry. Okay, I wasn't. I wasn't asking no 12-year-olds to be my girlfriends, okay? Listen, I wasn't. I wasn't calling up 12-year-olds and be like, you want to drive around the car and smoke cigarettes and have fountain pops? I wasn't, okay? Like, that is so weirdly to me. And the fact that JoJo stands there or sits there on this couch and says it and thinks there's nothing weird about it, when Colleen Ballinger was literally accused of having inappropriate relationships with minors, and she literally just kind of proves it, okay? That Colleen Ballinger and Jojo Siwa called each other friends when Jojo Siwa was 12. Now, I'm literally putting this out there, okay? You know, like, as a person in recovery, I mean, I know 21-year-old, 22-year-olds, okay, that I'm friendly with in recovery. I don't even know that I would call them my friends, okay? But Who out there, can somebody raise your hand, please, if you are 28 years old, literally 28 years old, and you have a good friend, okay, that you call up on the phone every day, and you hang out and go shopping with, and you tell your marital problems to, and you consider them your ride or die, that's 12 years old. Can you raise your hand out there, please? The fact that Jojo Siwa even thinks that there's anything okay with that should tell us the maturity level of Jojo Siwa. And then they go on to talk about how mature she is. You're so mature because you had all these adult friends when you were 12 years old. No, girl. Like, that's weird, okay? Maybe you should have been going to high school football games. I'm just saying. Maybe you should have been hanging out with kids your own age, okay? I'm just saying. You know, then it stops. Then she cites this whole thing about the way that she met Colleen Ballinger was because 4 of the girls on Dance Moms were invited to Todrick Hall's party where he surprised them with Colleen Ballinger, but she and Nia weren't invited, and Colleen Ballinger saw in the episode how upset they were that they weren't invited, and so then she like went out to dinner with Nia and their moms. Girl. Now, I don't know if you're friends with Todrick Hall today, but you might have missed a bullet there, okay? Todrick Hall is problematic as hell, too. So by 20 years old, you have surrounded yourself by Todrick Hall, James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, Shane Dawson. You have, Trisha Paytas, you have literally surrounded yourself by the most problematic people on YouTube. And you said you consider YouTube your job, okay? So your colleagues are the most, your colleagues are the most problematic people on YouTube, okay? Probably why you don't see anything that's wrong with it. Like when I was in treatment and my counselor said to me, let's talk about your smoking pot problem. And I said, I'm not here for that. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, everybody smokes pot. Everybody that I knew smoked pot, okay? So when everybody around you is problematic, you don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just like I thought there was nothing wrong, now listen, I'm talking 30 years ago, okay? I know everybody condones smoking in America, do you, okay? But I smoked it all day, every day. So whether you guys want to think it's a problem or not, it was a problem for me, okay? I smoked it all day, every day. So anyway, it was a problem for me. It was mostly a problem because I never, like, got arrested for it. It never cost me a lot of money problems because it was cheap and things like that. But that's a whole other story, okay, for another day. But, you know, the reason why I didn't think it was a problem for me was because everybody around me was smoking all day, every day. So when you're surrounded by problematic people, you don't think there's anything problematic about them. So I'm starting to wonder, Jojo Siwa, are you problematic? Now, we already know that Lipstick Nick, because she's surrounded herself and going to movie nights at James Charles' house, and she's been friends with Jeffree Star and Jaclyn Hill and all this kind of stuff. We know she's problematic. We just haven't found out how yet. But trust me, somebody probably will. Or she'll expose it herself, right? So, Jojo, I'm wondering if you're problematic, okay? But then they go into this whole thing about how, you know, like, they ask, well, first of all, I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, and when it starts getting this Colleen Ballinger thing, which I rewound about 3 times to make sure I got it right, and I'm like, now I understand that Jojo Siwa has more money than God at 20 years old, and she was on Dance Moms and things like that, you know, where they got paid $10,000, probably $50,000 for a post on Instagram, but why are we listening to this girl? Like, I mean, first of all, why are you listening to me? I'm nobody to have an opinion, okay? But, and for all you out there that want to say, well, you said, why are we listening to Jojo Siwa? Why are we listening to you? That's a good question. Why the fuck are you listening to me? But you are, and I appreciate it, so thank you. Okay, but now that we've acknowledged why are we listening to Peter Monn, let's acknowledge why are we listening to Jojo Siwa, okay? She was a girl that at 9 years old started dancing on Dance Moms, and then she got famous off of followers from Dance Moms on Instagram, okay? Made a YouTube channel the night that she met Colleen Ballinger, okay? Networked with the right people, came up with a bow brand, and now she's super famous, and we think that she's a superior morality. I'm confused about this, okay? Why are we listening to Jojo Siwa? Why should we think that Jojo Siwa is anybody that we need to take facts from, okay? I'm confused by this. But since everybody wants to know, well, the reason why is because she's so popular and she's so famous. This is the problem with popularity and fame, right? Is that it's not based on people's philanthropic movements. It's not based on the good that they put into the world, okay? It's not based on who they were and who they are now, and if they've made changes and growth, and if they've demonstrated that and shown that. We're not basing that. We're basing it on the fact that she's got 11 million followers on Instagram, so we should give a shit about what she says. I don't give a fuck what Jojo Siwa has to say, okay? Jojo Siwa don't know shit. And she's a predator protector. Period. And now she's a victim shamer, okay? Because she said in this, he says to you, are you still friends with Colleen Ballinger? Yeah, I sure am. First of all, let's just go on this whole thing about how she talks about how difficult it was for her to come out in the public eye, which I acknowledge, okay? That it is probably difficult to come out in the public and and all that kind of stuff in the LGBTQIA plus community, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that she could have taken that and been a fantastic role model for the LGBTQIA youth, okay? And how difficult that was for her to come out. And she could have shared that story, and that could have been her platform going forward and talked a lot about that. I know she's already talked a lot about that. Except for that she chose to align herself with James Charles, who is a self-proclaimed predator, and Colleen Ballinger that has a lot of, like, all these allegations, right? Okay. So I'm not really sure that I think that Jojo Siwa is a great representation of the gay community based on those facts. I was hoping for her, okay? And I actually went into this interview and I thought, well, I had already been, when I first came out, I thought, is she going to say something against Colleen Ballinger and say she can no longer stand by her? I thought, okay, that would be really interesting, right? If Jojo Siwa finally came out and said that. And I thought, and then she'll, like, unfollow her off of Instagram when this, you know, this thing comes out. And then I started getting all these all these messages after that. And people were saying things like, did you watch this podcast where she shames the victims? And I was like, well, I guess that ship sailed. Did you ever watch Wentworth? I love that movie so much, or that show so much, Wentworth. Did you ever watch that? Australia. Interesting country, isn't it? Somebody I was talking about earlier is from Brisbane, Australia. But anyway, so Australia, Wentworth, I love that, right? And the one scene, I think it's when Kaz comes in and she's talking to Vera, and she says something about, horses, and Vera goes, horses bolt. She goes, oh no, Kaz says to Vera, horses bolt. I love that scene so much. Basically, like, ships sail, but horses bolt. I never heard that before, and I was like, oh, I'm going to take that one and use that. But anyway, basically what Jojo Siwa comes out and says, I'm almost at, like, 40 minutes of this video. This is a long-ass video tonight. My husband, like, I kissed him goodnight. I kissed the dog goodnight as I got up from my nap. He was playing his game Township, and he was getting ready to go to bed. And he goes, are you going to, because I told him I was going to film a video. Oh, the reason why I'm filming a video tonight is because tomorrow is Cousin Fun Day. And by Cousin Fun Day, I mean that my cousin wants to go look at her grandparents' gravestones, okay? Because we're going to do this deep dive docu-series that then I fell out of interest in, and now she's all wanting to find out all this information about our grandma that went to prison and how our grandfather really died and all this. She's wanting the one to find it. She's like, we're going to go. We're going to do it. You're taking Wednesdays off. You're not filming. So if I want to post a video tomorrow, I'm going to have to film it tonight. So I told my husband that. And he goes, are you really going outside right now to film a video? And I go, sure should I? I'm getting my Diet Pepsi right now. Cheers, Jojo Siwa. So Jojo Siwa, when he asks her about Colleen Ballinger and the allegations, she says something to the effect of that when the internet takes a lie and they run with it, okay? When the internet takes a lie and they run with it, and she has seen this same thing happen to a lot of other people on the internet that were canceled for this. Then she goes in and talks about cancel culture, okay? So Colleen Ballinger is dealing with these allegations because the victims are lying about it, and their lies are being taken and run with. Well, there was only one liar, and that was Johnny Silvestri, and he lied about Josh David Evans, but you didn't have a problem with that, did you? Because Colleen Ballinger is your good Judy, so you didn't name Johnny Silvestri and say that he lied about Josh David Evans. No, 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 no. Because that would be giving Josh David Evans credit, and he's about to come out and slam Colleen Ballinger, your good Judy, that was your best friend when you were 12 years old, okay? Which is weird. So that's the first thing, okay? Then she wants to go in here and talk about all these lies and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, does she really believe this? Like, this isn't something that you can take back. You can't get in another interview 2 weeks down the road and go, yeah, like, I thought they were lies, but I guess they're not. No, there's too much evidence out there, okay? Jojo Siwa, there is way too much evidence out there. You know, and here's the other thing, people crying a river, all this kind of stuff about her coming out. I'm sure her coming out was tough. She was, you know, online and all that kind of stuff. There have been other people that have come out that have had much more difficult stories, okay? So cry me a river about that. I was bullied for 12 years, okay? And yes, I do cry a river about it still. Because it's part of my story, right? But, like, I'm, like, sitting there and I'm like, see, you could take that. You could take that story, Jojo, of how difficult it was for you, and you could use that as a foundation to help younger LGBTQIA youth, right? Except for that, now you're standing by the side of somebody that has alleged all these allegations, and you're also standing by James Charles, who's a self-proclaimed predator, who he doesn't even ask her about on the podcast. Like, Howie Mandel, like, wants to be able to say that he asked her. He even names the podcast something about, hold on a second. He names the podcast something about Colleen Ballinger, and then literally, that's the shortest part of the interview. I'm like, are you kidding me? Hold on, where is this interview? Jojo Siwa opens up about Colleen Ballinger. She opens up about it for 2 minutes. Okay, I mean, seriously, you're going to name the whole podcast out, but you're so scared to ask her the real questions? Put fucking Jojo Siwa on my couch. I'll ask her the questions. You know, somebody said on my video, or some other video, I think it was my video today, about Jeffree Star, like, do you think that she'll act, because that's another video, okay, because now Trisha Paytas is coming out, because he said something about Trisha Paytas ruining his life and his reputation, then she came out. Trisha Paytas is the only person I know that can make a 5-minute or 3-minute TikTok. I mean, that TikTok, I've got it saved, so I'll be doing that video. I feel like I just cannot get a day to catch a break, okay? But I'm going to be doing that video, trust. And Trisha Paytas is the only person I know that can literally sob on video for 3 minutes straight on a TikTok that is almost unbearable to get through, because she says the same thing over and over and over again in circles. And, I mean, she does apologize to this gal, and that part was really nice, all this kind of stuff. And she does, and she says in there, I mean, I got a lot of opinions about that, okay? And I don't think people are going to like them, because the whole thing is so confusing to me, but I do not believe that Trisha Paytas owes an apology to Jeffree Star, period, end of story. Okay, I've heard enough behind the scenes that he has said horrific shit about her. So I understand why she's pissed about it, okay? But Trisha, I have never seen anybody sob so much in 3 minutes of a TikTok and not one tear fall from their eye. I'm just saying, girl, okay? Might be why you didn't get them all acting jobs. I'm just saying, okay? You might want to, you know, James Charles was over there on that Instant Influencer teaching people how to do apologies. You might want to ask him how to cry in a video, too. I don't think he does crying very well, either. Do any of these YouTubers know how to cry? Oh, Colleen Ballinger. She knows how to drop a tear at the drop of a hat, doesn't she? Okay. So anyway, you might have wanted to drop your 12-year-old friend, because what came out after all of this, okay, where Jojo Siwa defends Colleen Ballinger to the grave, okay, and basically she does victim shame him and say that it's all based on lies, all the allegations are lies. She never addresses it. I mean, Howie Mandel, like, comes back and asks her again about it, and then she kind of plays it off, and she's just like, yeah, cancel culture is horrible, and I've seen this happen to a lot of people I'm friends with and a lot of people I don't know, where they're canceled. Who, girl, are you talking about? Shane Dawson? Evidence. Colleen Ballinger? Evidence. Evidence of her talking in group chats. Ooh! Did you say group chats? Now Adam McIntyre has exposed all over Twitter tonight that, hold on a second, let me pull it up, that Jojo Siwa was in these problematic, hold on a second, let me pull it up. Here it is. Oh, God, Adam McIntyre, he is busy tonight. Okay, girl. So here he is talking about Trisha Paytas, but he says on here something about, oh, where is it at? Hold on a second. He did a video called Jojo Siwa Defends Colleen and Calls Me a Liar. Where is the part where he says this about... Oh, here it is. Jojo being in the GCS alongside Colleen is the cherry on the top, okay? And it's about, and spill some tea with me, put this on here, and it's a screenshot, okay? You can go over to Adam McIntyre's Twitter, and it's where she's in the group chat, one of the problematic group chats, as a minor. As a minor, girl. No wonder you didn't think there was anything wrong with what Colleen Ballinger did. You remember when I said that I think Colleen Ballinger is so afraid because there might be somebody that comes out and tells some truths on Colleen Ballinger? Literally, Jojo Siwa, who was defending her, did it and didn't even realize she was doing it, okay? You came out and said that a 28-year-old woman became your best friend when you were 12. That is so fucking weird, okay? Like, that is so fucking... What do you have at 28 years old in common with a 12-year-old? Seriously, okay? Legos? Like, what is going on, okay? Were you and Colleen playing Barbies? Were you teaching her how to do dance moves? I mean, I am so confused about this, okay? Like, that is weird enough. But then you were in the group chats as a minor too, Jojo Siwa. It says your name on that piece of evidence that Adam McIntyre posted. If I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong. But Adam McIntyre, he showed the group chat with your name on there, okay? So... You're saying that people are lying about it. Well, you probably are saying that, you know, because I don't know, girl. Like, this is wrong to me. This is weird, okay? So, can somebody please explain to me why we are listening to this girl, number one? She is literally a dancer that can never get to the top of the pyramid on Dance Moms, okay? Congrats to you for having a fantastic YouTube career. for teaming up with every problematic YouTuber, okay? Like, that really worked to your advantage, that you teamed up with every problematic YouTuber. Of course you owe them favors. They built your career. They sold your bows for you, girl, okay? That $80 million you made was off the backs of these problematic people, okay? So can we, first of all, can somebody explain to me, and I know people are going to be like, you're going so hard for Jojo Siwa. She literally got in a podcast called Jojo Siwa Talks About Colleen Ballinger. Do not come for me, okay? She wanted to defend this woman with these allegations. Jojo Siwa could have said, I choose not to speak about it. Yes, I'm friendly with Colleen Ballinger, and I'm not going to talk about it. She could have said that, okay? She didn't have to come out and victim blame and victim shame the people that have come out and shared their stories and say that they're liars and that the internet has taken it and run with it. She didn't have to say that, okay? She didn't have to say these people are trying to cancel Colleen Ballinger, okay? That just feeds into the whole mentality, I think, in all honesty, because apparently Howie Mandel dipped into her DMs, because they talk about this on the podcast, dipped into her DMs. She probably called Colleen Ballinger, and Colleen Ballinger was probably like, I think this would be a good idea. Because then you can come on there and you can defend me, and people are going to listen to you because you're somebody that has a lot of clout, all right? And they're already good Judies anyway. So, Jojo Siwa, to me, is no different than a Cody Tyler, okay? She's just doing Colleen Ballinger's dirty work for her, period, end of story, okay? So, number one, answer me this, okay? Puzzle me this. Puzzle me this, and let's play that game Operation, and you don't buzz the sides, okay? I don't even know why I just said that. That was so stupid. But puzzle me this. Number one, why are we listening to this girl? Okay, this girl that got famous off of Dance Moms? I mean, seriously? I mean, okay. She wasn't even that good of a dancer. I mean, do you guys remember? I mean, I felt bad for her because all the other girls made fun of her behind the scenes. I mean, where's Maddie Ziegler today? Nobody cares. Really, truth be told, I always felt bad for Chloe because Abby was so mean to her, right? Abby was mean to you, JoJo, and you sit there and talk about how you defend JoJo's, or how, to this day, that you are still good Judies with Abby, what was her name? Abby Williams, because she built your career. Hold on a second. Let me read this article. I haven't read this article yet that my friend Nikki sent me. Abby Lee Miller says she's attracted to high school football players. Oh, this is another friend of yours, Jojo Siwa. Here it is on TMZ right here. Let's pull this up. Here it is on TMZ. Okay, 9/11/2023. Abby Lee Miller clarifies high school crush comment. Abby Lee Miller just took to Instagram in an attempt to clear the air on her comments, saying she likes jocks, always has and always will. She also says her kind of guy must be able to go. Who is asking Abby Lee Miller out on a date? I mean, girl, I wish you all the dates in the world, okay? But you're problematic as hell, too. Must go out to clubs, party in Vegas, rent ADA accessible vans, and have a bank and business of their own. Oh, you need a bank account? Who's she going out to Vegas with? I want to know that. Girl, you getting you a VIP section Omni? Okay, obviously, she doesn't flat out say it, but those are qualities high schoolers just can't possess. Abby again highlights all the right moves where Tom Cruise plays a high school student and mentions her own high school reunion is coming up soon. She'll probably be a real hit there. Abby says she hopes a high school hunk from her days will attend the reunion, but if not, she'll settle for Tom Brady, as if. Girl, why would you want him? Abby Lee Miller went on a bizarre tangent claiming she's got a thing for high school football players in an interview that's raising plenty of eyebrows online. 57-year-old Abby took the odd stance on a recent episode of Sophia Franklin's Sophia with an F podcast. At the very end of the show, the two started talking about Tom Cruise, causing Abby to bring up his 1983 flick, All the Right Moves, about a high school football star. Abby says those guys are her downfall, claiming she's still into high school dudes today. Already a little odd, but Sophia, you think? This is your good Judy that you shout out all the time, Jojo Siwa? Jojo, you have a good judge of character, I'm telling you right now. Already a little odd, but Sophia notes that she's more into the coaches. Would be a great place to drop the conversation, right? I guess. Why not flat out ask her and say, you don't think there's something? Why are these people asking people on interviews and they are afraid to ask the real fucking questions? I'll tell you this right now, okay? People are like, Peter, you need to start a podcast because then you would ask these people the real fucking questions. No, you know what? They wouldn't fucking come on my shows. You know why they wouldn't fucking come on my shows? Because they know that I would ask the real fucking questions. Because if Abby Lee Miller sat there on the couch, okay, next to me and said, first of all, I'd say to her still to this day, why were you so cruel to Nia? okay? Like, that was uncalled for bullshit, okay? Kind of indirectly racist, if you want to know the truth of how I really feel about it, okay? Dressing her up in that whole outfit that Holly went off about. I'll never forget Holly saying, she said something about, I'll kick you out. She goes, you can't fire me from this show, Abby. I lived, okay? I love Dance Mom Holly. And if she's problematic today and I don't know it, I disavow her, okay? I'm going to take Tana Mojo's job, right? But this is why nobody would come on my podcast as a guest, because they know Howie Mandel and all these other fools are going to let him off and not ask the tough questions. If Abby Lee Miller said that sitting on my couch, I look at her and go, Abby Lee Miller, why do you not think it is weird that you just said that there is something so problematic about saying that you are attracted to high school football players? Like, you don't think there's something problematic about that? I would ask those fucking questions. That's why people won't do interviews with me. Let's get that straight real quick. Manny, Laura, none of them would do interviews with me. Trust me, I asked, okay? They went on other people's interviews. They answered their questions. I'll ask those fucking questions. Come sit on my couch, Jojo Siwa. I'll ask you the questions, okay? I'll ask you the questions. Jeffree Star, come sit on my couch. I'll ask you the questions that everybody wants me to ask, okay? I'll ask all the questions of all the people. I don't give a fuck, okay? None of these people, they're all weak. None of these people want to ask the real questions. They all have their own agendas, right? Okay. It's a pretty wild thing to say, especially considering her former reality series, Dance Moms, is all about running a studio full of kids, and as you can imagine, she's been getting burnt online. Many have been pointing out the obviously disgusting implications of her comment. One person even pointed out the fact that she went back and clarified is crazy. By the way, Abby's new show, Madhouse, begins airing at the end of September, a series that takes young adult dancers and pins them against each other in the hopes of making it under her team. Who'd want to be under her team? So you get $10,000 per post on Instagram, then you become world famous like fucking Jojo Siwa. Jojo Siwa, listen, okay? There's one thing you will never be. You will never be worldwide like Candy from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Worldwide. Well, I guess she kind of is, isn't she? They went on world tours and stuff like that. Give a fuck. I like Candy better. I love Marlo Hampton. Jojo Siwa, I don't listen, okay? You need to figure your shit out. I know you're young, and I know you're 20 years old, and I know that you have surrounded yourself the majority of your young life growing up with people that are extremely problematic, and so you think that that's okay. This would maybe be a time to clear yourself up and maybe try to step into the role of being a good LGBTQIA plus role model. I'm hoping that for you, okay? I'm hoping that for all of our youth, because I think that, you know, we need some of that. When I was growing up, we had really great role models that came before me, you know, really great LGBTQIA plus role models that came before me that are now since dead. But I feel really blessed that I had those people. You know, when I was 20, 21, 22, when I started looking at the history, and then, you know, we had people that came out, that later became problematic, like Ellen DeGeneres, but at the time weren't, you know, and, who's the dude that played, I can never remember his real name, who's the dude that played Doogie Howser, you know, that guy, and his husband, David Burka, I can remember his husband's name because he hit on my husband, but, true story, dad, at the Super Bowl when it was in Indianapolis, but what's his husband's name? And that David Burka is good looking. Isn't that his husband? But anyway, he is cute. He's good looking. But anyway, they're a cute couple, and I love their Halloween costumes they do with their kids and stuff like that. They're a nice couple, right? Like, can we not have, and I don't know if they're problematic, so maybe they are, but I don't follow them that closely. But can we have some, I mean, there's a lot of younger people that are coming out that are not problematic. Jojo Siwa, you have the opportunity to have a fantastic platform, okay? You were saying that you were scared to come out because of what you would receive. I'd be more scared about coming out about who you stand behind, okay? Because it's not a good look. For your career, for your YouTube career, for them bows, okay? And for all of this. You need to really rethink your stance, all right? And this isn't something that you can come back from, like I said, in 2 weeks and go, well, I changed my opinion, because it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, because it's not, okay? The internet is letting you have it right now for defending Colleen Ballinger. This isn't something you can come out 2 weeks later and go, well, I really thought about this. I mean, it didn't serve me in any way. Well, 3.5 months later, to unfollow Colleen Ballinger. It didn't follow Joey Graceffa well. It didn't do Daniel Prada well. Okay, it's hiding is what it is. So you can't come out in 2 weeks and say, well, now that I've, like, reevaluated things, yeah, I can't continue to follow Colleen Ballinger. We're going to still know that y'all are good Judies and you're just saying it to save ass, okay? The evidence has been out there for a long time. And you chose to side on her side. And it's not a great look, okay? And I'm not even disappointed in you, because I don't even really think that highly of you, okay? You're just some gal that got lucky in a reality show, period, end of story, okay? Period, okay? What happened to Heather from the real world? I liked her. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.